Today we're going to review a throwback and we're going to grade it. We're going to grade Transformers 1 from 2007. And before I hop into it, what is movie breakdowns? Movie review series. We look at new and old movies, give them a grade A through L plus minus due count. And if you want me to do, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I'll get to it as best I can. I also have a Patreon Zakka for $2 a month. Get the cut in front of everybody, get your review out, wait for it, comes out on Facebook and YouTube. Now, let's go and get into today's episode, 2007 Transformers. Now, what is this movie about? If you haven't seen Transformers, it's about pretty much aliens coming to Earth. There's two types, two sides. There's the Decepticons and the Autobots. The Decepticons want to destroy Earth and rule it and find this object and take that object to conquer Earth and go back and win and destroy the war and take over Cybertron. And the Autobots are pretty much trying to find the same object to defeat the Decepticons, to save their world, and also bring peace to the universe, because the Decepticons are not just trying to take over Cybertron, they're trying to take over Earth. And I believe the Allspark is what they're looking for in this movie. I just know they're called the Cube. Give me the Cube, my boy. It's not the All Link, I think it's the Allspark in this movie. I watched it, and you know, it's funny enough, I rewatched this movie and completely forgot what the name of the object I was looking for. And still to this day, I can go back and rewatch the movie again and find it. But it's another MacGuffin where they need to find a thing and everybody's searching for this thing, and the thing's being like pretty much bring all power to everything. Like, it's the same story in every other movie. Matter of fact, this movie in itself is the same story. The only thing's different, you have Transformers in it. Giant robots. Who love giant robots? But you have a dorky kid who's considered outcast in his school, like Shia LaBeouf character who's playing Sam Witwicky, who is considered an outcast. He's like just socially awkward, don't really have really friends. His family is like, okay, yes, he's a teenage boy. He has a crush on a hot girl in school who is played by Megan Fox, who is Michaela, the highest girl in school, who also has a thing for the dorky outcast boy. I won't call him nerdy, but like, I guess at this time, 2007, if he was nerdy, he'd be considered nerdy as well. But like, it's almost the story of like the guy who can't get any girls managed to land the hot girl in school because they go on an adventure together. That's exactly what this movie's about. It's exactly like that. You just add in Transformers and there you go. Sam Witwicky becomes the hero at the end of the movie after somebody who pretty much had nothing really going for him. He was trying to get a car, trying to get his good grades in school, and he was trying to sell his stuff. And his great-grandfather was a explorer who found Megatron. And Megatron, he activated Megatron homing beacon and thus encrypted the directions to the Allspark, or the Allspark 2 in his glasses. So the glasses has the direction to where Allspark at. The Decepticons finally comes to Earth years later, finally make it to Earth, and they're looking for this. So they're pretty much attacking every military base to find this. Sam just happened to have the glasses. They found Sam. Bumblebee happened to show up. Never really to say why Bumblebee decided to find Sam and how he knew where to find him, and he knew that Sam would be in a certain car lot, but he did. And Bumblebee and Sam team up with Michaela to defeat the Decepticons. In this movie, the things I like is action. It has a lot of action. You can follow the action too. It's not like convoluted and congested. It's not all over the place. It is literally the Michael Bay isms that come from this movie is the start of that. At the time this movie came out, it was really received pretty dang well. I love this movie. I watched this movie multiple times as a kid. It's a lot of good stuff in here. The storyline is solid. The music in the original movie score, not the Linkin Park soundtrack that gets played in this movie, which there are moments where the movie decided to go from the orchestra and the OST of this movie to like hardcore rock music, and it's like reminds me of playing a 2007 WWE video game, or like a Madden video game or a sports video game where like there's just like a rock song playing for no reason. Well, this movie does that. Especially like when there's like certain scenes like they're driving away from the Decepticon and playing this rock music, or Michaela has Bumblebee tied up to a tow truck and he's shooting, there's rock music playing for some weird reason, versus the orchestra music that plays when the Autobots reveal themselves in the Arrival of the Earth theme song. But this movie has a lot of good music score in it. The CGI at the time is solid. Like, I think Eric bought into this movie. I don't think anybody watching this movie is like, the CGI is trash. No, the CGI for 2007 really holds up. It works for this movie. The dialogue is the one thing I don't like in this movie. And the movie's definitely of its time and era. Like, there's dialogue in this movie that's like really borderline like offensive. But if you had no problem watching that kind of stuff, understanding the year you're watching this movie in, you'd be like, okay, cool. Like, there's a lot of jokes in here about Hispanics, a lot of jokes in here about just like manhood and womanhood. Like, it's just a lot of like just stuff that wouldn't fly in movie theaters. You'll see it and you'll be like, yeah, that's offensive. That won't fly in 2023 or 2024 movie theater. But 2007, for better or for worse, those jokes were in the movie, and sometimes they're not funny anymore. You're laughing like, that's not funny. Like, or you get one, you're like, that's just not funny. Unless you're like a part of that community and you find those jokes funny. Other than that, like, the jokes are not really that funny. Another thing is like the over-sexualization of Michaela in this movie. I hate to get to that point, but this movie is that movie. Like, you watch it and you're like, ain't she in high school? And yet, like, there's so many jokes about how hot Megan Good is in this movie where you're like, we get it. Megan Good is hot, but like, the mom tells Megan Good like she's hot. Shia LaBeouf says it to her. There's a part where she gets hit on. There's another joke where like it's like, okay, we get it. There's a scene where she's working on a car. It's an iconic scene. Everybody remembers the scene, and everything. If we think of Megan Good, I started Megan Good, Megan Fox. That was scene you go to her work on the car, and you're like, she's in high school. Her character's in high school. We get that, right? So this movie definitely, for women, it does not do women justice in this movie. And yet Michaela does become a character she's not a damsel in distress by any means. She definitely will stick up and fight her way through stuff. So that's a good thing there. But for a sexualization of her, yeah, they definitely over-sexualized Michaela in this movie. Any other thoughts before I get into cast and details? I really don't have anything else. Like, as far as action goes, the action is solid. I mean, the action is good. The music score is good. The storyline itself is a solid storyline. It's just a basic, hero's journey storyline that really works, and you just throw Autobots in there and it's like, okay, this movie does its job. It is a fun popcorn Hollywood flick, summer movie blockbuster flick you can watch any time of the week. So let's go ahead and get into the cast details and all that good stuff. So the director of this movie is Michael Bay. Writers are Roberto Orci, Alex Kuzman, and John Rogers. The budget for this movie when it came out was $150 million and grossed worldwide $709 million. So this movie made its money multiple times. And the movie is 2 hours and 24 minutes. But the fact that this movie made that money, it shows you why Transformers franchise is such a big deal, or how I keep getting more movies, because people love watching these movies. Robots versus each other. The humans are usually not the best part of these movies. As you go down the line, the humans become less of what you care about. But in this movie, it made the humans seem worth something. Like, you get behind Shia LaBeouf, who is our main character, who plays Sam Witwicky. You can get behind his journey. You can see that he's the awkward kid who gets a moment to, go on an adventure of a lifetime, and he meets the hot girl, Megan Fox, played by Megan Fox, who plays Michaela. He gets that hot girl, and they get to go on the journey together. Like, almost every guy can relate to somewhere like, oh yeah, I want the girl or the hot person to be with me on this journey, and we fall in love. I'm hitting on them, and now we're liking each other. At the end of the movie, we get the girl, or get who you want, get your partner. So, that everybody can relate to that in that sense. And just the underdog story for Shia LaBeouf, it works. He works it well. There are times where he's like freaking out for no reason. He's doing Shia LaBeouf isms at this point, what we call them. But in this time, like, nobody really knew what they were, so it wasn't overdone. It wasn't like in your face, but the stutter and we got to do this and getting the freaking spazzing, that was fine for his character. Like, he was a spaz character, while Michaela was like the chill, laid back character. Josh Duhamel, who plays Captain Lennox, he was fine. Like, he was the other part of the story where, like, the military got involved because the Decepticon was trying to get the military stuff. So they brought the military involved, and he was pretty much fine in this movie. He was okay. Like, did a job as the military captain. Tyrese Gibson, who plays Sergeant Epps, once again, he was fine for his role. He was not a military guy. You have John Tortoro, who played Agent Simmons, he was once again, did good in his role. He was the I'm Sector 7 kind of a jerk kind of character who plays no nonsense, but also kind of get punked around. He was a little more comedic bits in this movie. John Voight, who played the defense secretary, he was fine as well. He did a good job. Anthony Anderson playing Glenn Whitman, more comedic guy. Once again, also fine. Rachel Taylor, who played Maggie Madsen, once again, she was like the military person. So the movie had two halves. You had the kids side, the teenage high school side, the Autobots, and then you had the military trying to figure out what was going on, and everybody trying to decipher what's going on in this movie and get the military side of things, which they was there, like they did their job, but nobody really, you didn't care about them. You didn't care about them at all. Like the fact there's a scene where Anthony Anderson, John Turturro, John Voight, and Rachel Taylor all had to fight a Decepticon. There's no fear in the movie that they're going to die. Like they all survive, like at the end of the movie. So yeah, they was there, and for the most part, actually, only one of them comes back in the sequel. So that shows you how much they are a part of that movie. But they're there just kind of like add more time and just flesh out the world of Transformers they really want to. They really try to make this movie like a military movie, military getting involved versus the robots, and that's what a part of the movie was. Because to be honest, without the Autobots, the military had to fight the Decepticons to get through certain stuff. Any other thoughts? Not really. The CGI, like I said, held well. There are parts of the movie where, like, for example, Bumblebee could only speak through speak through the radio. He lost his vocal cords, got injured, so he can speak to the radio, and he says something, and Josh Duhamel's character was like, I understand what he said. We gotta do, like, how did you know what he talked? How you know how he talked? How do you know he talked to the radio? So there are other scenes in this movie where, like, yeah, this movie got some loose ends into it, but at the same time, it's a summer blockbuster flick, so it does its job at the end of the day. And really, the movie is by itself. If this movie is a standalone movie, it did a phenomenal job. Like, it came, delivered. You got what you wanted. You got your Transformers. You got a solid storyline. Dialogue and some of the stuff in the movie was like, but it really held up. It as a standalone movie, if this was the one and only Transformers movie, it would be like, yeah, this is a great movie, like Independence Day. Like people like, yeah, this movie was something that we can watch and just continue to watch over and over again. All right. Is this a Friday night movie? Yes, this is a Friday night movie. Definitely go watch Transformers. And grading time. I'm going to grade Transformers 1 from 2007. I'm going to give this movie a B-. It gets an 80% from me. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It does its job. It's a solid story that you've seen before multiple times, but this time you add in Transformers. Does its job. Great work across the board. Like, there are parts of the movie that you might not remember down the line, and that's true. And there's parts of the movie where you're like, but for the most part, it's going to be a movie where everybody can watch and enjoy and just have a good time with. Nobody can be like rolling their eyes or like, oh my gosh. I think everybody's going to enjoy this movie. So I'm giving this movie a B-. IMDb gives this movie a 7.0 out of 10. That is a C-. And Rotten Tomatoes the critics give it a 57%. That is a F. But the audience gives it an 85%, which is a B. So there we go. Me and the audience are more aligned. The critics, probably because there's just so much stuff in here. They were like, I don't know what's going on. Special effects, movie, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a blockbuster. Get over yourself. So yeah, I give Transformers 1 from 2007 a B-. It gets an 80% for me. If you've seen Transformers, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below on that. See you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.